Hello, this is Caleb Jackson, Vice President of Barbee Jackson Insurance, making a video today that kind of explains what you need to operate a tow truck in the state of Florida. A lot of the commercial vehicles require certain coverages, certain limits to operate in the state, and tow trucks are no different, and they actually have a few limits that are a little bit different than your regular haul for hire carriers. So let's just get right into it. The main thing is going to be based on the weight of the truck as far as the amount of commercial auto liability coverage you need to carry. So just to operate a tow truck running up and down the road, you're going to need at least $50,000 in coverage regardless. That's if you're using a pickup truck with a wheel lift or anything else. It doesn't matter how little it weighs. You're going to need at least $50,000 in commercial auto liability. When you bump up to the next level of vehicle, anything over 35,000 pounds to under 44,000 pounds, you're going to need at least 100,000 in commercial auto liability. And once you get to the real big trucks, your heavier rollbacks or maybe some of your tractor trailer tow trucks and stuff like that are over 44,000 pounds, it jumps to a $300,000 level. A lot of the times the weight, depend on what type of truck it is. The wheel lifts that are connected to like an F-250 or something like that usually are in one of those first two categories. But when you get into the bigger boom trucks and stuff like that, you're definitely going to want to carry that higher limit. And of course, you can always carry, higher limits just to be safe. I usually recommend my clients, if you can afford it, it's never a bad idea to have $1 million limit. But as far as to be legal, those are the weight requirements. Again, anything under 35,000 pounds, it's 50,000 in coverage. Anything under 44,000 pounds that's over 35,000 pounds, 100,000, and the big trucks, the 44,000 and higher, you're going to need $300,000 in commercial auto liability. That again is the liability if you hit somebody with the truck. Basically, you run into someone, you injure a pedestrian by hitting them with the truck, or you're backing the truck up and you run into someone, run into another vehicle. That's your commercial auto liability. If you operate a tow truck where you just tow vehicles from the place they're at on the side of the road to another facility, but you don't actually hold them, you just have to have that commercial auto liability limit. Now, a lot of times, if you are storing vehicles, you actually will tow a vehicle from the side of the road, or you'll tow a vehicle from an illegally parked area and hold it in an actual storage area that you operate. You're going to need two additional coverages. You need a coverage called Garage Liability Insurance, which is basically your basic slip and fall insurance for your facility in case someone gets hurt there, or something that happens that's not involving a vehicle where someone's injured because of your operations. That's what you need your garage liability coverage for. That's usually, I think in Florida, it's $300,000 in garage liability that you have to have. And then also when you're storing vehicles, you need something that's called Garagekeepers liability insurance. That's physical damage coverage for vehicles that are in your care, custody, or control that aren't on the tow truck. If they're on the tow truck, it's a different coverage. It's called on hook or in tow coverage. That's physical damage coverage for the vehicles that are actually attached or hooked up or riding on your tow truck. Again, Garagekeepers legal liability or Garagekeepers liability coverage is physical damage for the vehicles that are in your care, custody, or control, but are not currently being towed or hauled on your tow truck. It's important, even if you don't have a storage facility, I think it's a very good idea to carry Garagekeepers coverage just in case you ever have to move a vehicle, to get it in the right position to then get your rollback or get your wheel lift under it. If you're moving it around, it's not on the truck and you damage the vehicle. If you don't have Garagekeepers coverage, your in-tow coverage usually will not pay for that damage. So those are the coverages that you have to operate a tow truck in Florida. You have to have commercial auto liability coverage depending on the weight of the truck. If you have a storage facility, you have to have Garagekeepers liability, physical damage liability in the amount of $50,000 for vehicles in your care, custody, or control. And you're also supposed to have just regular garage liability at a $300,000 limit. If you have any other questions, give us a call and check us out online at barbeejackson.com. Again, I'm Caleb Jackson with Barbee Jackson Insurance.